All right. Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Good morning. Yeah. All right.
Hello,
So, hello. Good to see
how
you and
is
hear
your
you
day?
guys. Give me a second. Yeah. We are live on YouTube now, right now. Okay. So, welcome to this new class. Um,
Good
I am.
morning.
Good morning. I'm glad to see you guys again. Um, okay. I'm going to turn on my camera, but I got some like Wi-Fi problems. So when the connection is more stable, I'm going to turn on my camera, right? And so in a previous lesson, we were studying about the following things. I'm going to share my screen with you right now. A second. So right here. Um, yeah, we were checking out some contents from from unit one, dealing with vocabulary, for example. Also, we got the previous lesson here on virtual class. There was a problem with the link that I just fixed. Let me see. Virtual class. Mm, in the classes. Give me a second. No tengo acceso ahora porque está esta. Ya, pero arreglé el link en todo caso, el que estaba malo. Ya. So today we're going to continue with the lessons about unit number one. Um, we were discussing things about, for example, politics and bureaucracy. We were dealing with law and order, some content about writing, okay, grammar, and all that sort of stuff. Okay. So today we should continue studying a little bit of grammar, and also if we got time, we're gonna study. We're gonna continue studying some vocabulary and lexical contents. All right. So today I'd like to review passive voice with you. Okay. I don't know if you remember anything about the passive voice, but if you remember, just type it in the chat room or just use your microphone and tell me what you remember. Okay. You can interrupt me, of course. Um, you can. That's what I mean. So we got two voices in the English language. Okay, we got the active voice and the passive voice in this case. So active voice, normally the focus is on the subject. The subject is the doer of the action in this case. It could be a person, it could be an animal, it could be an object. I mean, a machine, something like that. Okay, and the passive voice in this case is focused on the object. It's focused on the receiver of the action in this case. All right. So the big difference between the active voice and the passive voice is pretty much the focus and what is important at that moment for the speaker. Where you put the emphasis. So, for example, you got here in the active voice, present simple, I do my homework. Okay. So in this case, you are using the present simple tense. I do my homework, which is pretty much like a routine, something that you do all the time. With the active voice, the important thing is I, because that is the subject. Okay. But with the passive voice, the most important thing is the homework. not the person who is doing the homework, but the homework itself. Okay, so that's why in this case you say my homework in the passive voice is done. Now the structure in this case that we use to construct the passive voice is verb to be plus the past participle. Verb to be, which is, for example, in this case, is, was, being, will be, okay, in the different tenses, o los distintos tiempos, ¿cierto? Verb to be, conjugated in any tense, plus, in this case, the past participle. What is the past participle in these examples? Done. Past participle in this case is done. Okay. So now, basically, the idea is that to dominate, in this case, the passive voice, you need to remember the past participle forms, like a lot of them. Maybe not all of them, but we need to review the past participles. Okay. But this one, in this case, like this chart, we can see like the different tenses, not all of them, but different examples, like the present continuous, past simple, past continuous, present perfect, past perfect, future simple, future be going to, modal, and modal perfect. Okay. And then you can see how, for example, the verb to be in this case is working as an auxiliary verb, or we call it more technically like primary auxiliary verb. Also, you can see the past participle in this case. My homework is being done, present continuous, right? ¿Por qué present continuous? Because we have is, which in this case is the primary auxiliary verb, then being, que es el gerundio o the verb with ing, que es, digamos, la estructura del present continuous, y después le agregamos el past participle, que sería done. Entonces tenemos tres verbos, ¿ok? Tenemos el primary auxiliary verb, que sería el is, tenemos el gerund, que es el ing, and past participle. Okay, so we can see that the passive form in this case is a little more complex. Yeah, es un poquito más complejo, yeah. Now, when do we use the passive voice? You know, the passive voice in English is more formal. It's normally formal language, okay? It is used in academic contexts. It is used in, for example, on the news, okay? Or for example, newspapers, articles, books, scientific papers. You know, that's the, in this case, the field where the passive voice is more used. You can use passive voice in the everyday language, of course, but it's way more common in the formality, in the formal context. Okay. Also, we got, for example, here the past simple. Okay, with the past simple, you, in this case, in the passive voice, you use my homework was done. You know, verb to be in the past simple form, was. It could be where also. Si fuera el sujeto plural, se usa where. ¿Ya? Pero como es singular, usamos el was plus the past participle. Past continuous in this case is la misma estructura del past continuous, verb to be in the past, actuando como un auxiliary verb. El being, que sería el gerundio o verb ing, y tenemos el past participle. Present perfect in this case, tenemos que usar el auxiliar has, porque present perfect se usa siempre el auxiliar have, has, ¿ok? Más un verbo en past participle. Entonces aquí sucede lo siguiente. Tenemos el auxiliary has, ¿ok? Tenemos el been, que sería el verbo to be, que hay que poner en el pasivo, ¿cierto? En the passive voice, que está conjugado en past participle. Y el done es otro past participle. Entonces, ¿qué tenemos aquí? Que hay un doble past participle. Auxiliary verb, has, y un doble past participle. ¿Se fijan? ¿Eso puede pasar? Of course. Of course it can. Past perfect es prácticamente lo mismo, solo que cambiamos el auxiliar a had. Con el past participle usamos, ¿cierto? El had, porque la estructura del past participle es verbo auxiliar had plus the past participle. Esa es como la estructura original del past perfect, ¿ya? Así aprovechamos también de repasar los tenses, ¿cierto? Aprovechamos de repasar estas cosillas, ¿ya? Future simple in this case with the auxiliary verb will. Con el passive voice sería will, que sería el auxiliar, plus be, que es el verbo to be que va siempre en el passive voice, plus the past participle. Entonces, auxiliar, be, past participle. Future with be going to. Aquí tenemos, ¿cierto? Más verbos todavía. ¿Por qué? Porque tenemos que is está funcionando como un auxiliary primary verb in this case. Going, que es un gerund, ¿cierto? El to, que siempre va en el futuro con going to, siempre va el to. Ya, eso está en la estructura así como siempre. Después tenemos que poner, además, agregar el be, que en este caso pertenece a la passive voice, and done, past participle. Entonces hay combinados aquí dos estructuras, ¿cierto? El be going to, completillo como ustedes ven aquí, is going to, y tenemos que agregarle la voz pasiva, que sería el verb to be más el past participle. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 verbs. 4 verbos al hilo. Okay? So in this case, you can see that you can, in this case, get more complex with the passive voice or with the, in this case, the combination of a lot of different verbs. Lo mismo pasa con modal perfect, ¿cierto? Lo vamos a ver al tiro. Primero con modal verb, más simple porque modal verb tenemos que es must in this case. Okay. Solito no significa nada. Tenemos que combinarlo siempre. El modal verb se combina con un bare infinitive que se dice, que es como un infinitivo sin to. O base infinitive también le llaman, bare or based infinitive. Entonces, en la voz activa dice I must do my homework, ¿cierto? Yo debo hacer mi tarea, súper simple. En passive voice, ¿cierto? Nos enfocamos en my homework. Debe ser hecha, dice. Must, que sería modal, y después viene la voz pasiva, be done. O sea, verb to be plus past participle. And finally, the modal perfect. Y aquí podemos ver que hay 4 verbos en la voz pasiva. ¿Cierto? 4 verbs. Tenemos, ¿cierto? My homework, que sería el object, que pasa a ser como lo principal en este caso. El should, que es el modal. La forma perfect, que es, digamos, el have o el has. Ya, aquí siempre es have, ya, por un tema de que en la regla dice de que si yo tengo un verbo modal, que en este caso es should, el verbo que sigue necesariamente es infinitive sin el to. Siempre. Siempre un verbo modal tiene que ir acompañado con un verbo infinitivo sin to. Tenemos esta parte, ¿cierto? Que es el modal perfect, pero además tenemos que agregarle la voz pasiva, que en este caso sería been, que es el verbo to be, ¿cierto? Conjugado en past participle, y el done, que sería el past participle como verbo principal. My homework should have been done, en este caso. Mi tarea debería haber sido hecha, pero no lo fue. That's the idea. Okay. Guys, do you have any questions? Any questions, any comments? Algo que quieran agregar, preguntar. Dale, Benjamín. Go ahead.
Profe, el I'm going to o el I'm going to do es el que como a la hora de los modismos se reemplaza con el gonna, ¿cierto? Que pierde como toda formalidad.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna do this.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. Good job. Yes.
So that's it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna do my homework. Yes, absolutely yes. Incluso se puede usar la voz pasiva, pero uno puede decir, my homework is gonna be done. Absolutely correct. My homework is gonna be done. Right? Porque siempre el going to se puede, digamos, en este caso, informalizar o coloquializar. ¿Cierto? Se transforma el lenguaje coloquial, del everyday language, ¿cierto? Entonces, going to puede ser gonna. El otro que es el got to, puede ser gotta. Gotta. Ahí está mejor mi señal ya. Para que se me pueda ver. Tengo a yoyos detrás ahí, va acompañándome. Entonces, digo decir, está el gotta, el gonna, incluso hay uno que es tryna. Yo se lo voy a escribir en el chat room. Lo voy a escribir en el chat. Entonces tenemos gonna, going to, gotta, which is.
Profe,
Me equivoqué. ¿Qué? Dígame.
¿está grabando la clase?
Sí, estoy grabándola en YouTube.
Ya, bacán.
It's okay, no? Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Así me gusta, chiques. Ya, que me ayuden. Entonces tenemos gonna, going to, gotta, lo estoy escribiendo ahora en el chat, ¿cierto? Gotta equals got to. Tenemos como tryna. En este caso, tryna, que sería el trying to. Había otro más que no me acuerdo en este momento, gotta, gonna y otro más, pero ahí me voy a acordar ya. Hay otro que es el ain't. El ain't, que básicamente el ain't sirve para todos los negativos. Como I am not, she's not, he's not, they're not. Incluso past forms o future también a veces lo he visto. El ain't, pero más que todo en el presente. Entonces, ain't in this case equals am not, is not, are not. All right. Good. Some people sometimes ama. Yeah. Absolutely. It's correct. Yes. That's right. If you know more, in this case, contractions, podemos llamarlo contractions or abbreviations or colloquial language, you can just put it in the chat room. Yeah, of course. Your contributions will be well received. Wanna, yes, era el que es famoso. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, ¿cierto? El ama y el wanna. Exactly. ¿Cierto? El wanna es el want to in this case. Want to. Yep. Excellent. So if you remember like more contractions, just go ahead. Now put them in the chat room. Ahora, for example, what is the difference between in this case, the formal language and informal language? You know that English in this case is a living language. It's una lengua viva, no en lengua muerta. So the English language is constantly in evolution, right? So for example, in linguistics, we talk about descriptive linguistics and prescriptive linguistics, okay? Lo voy a escribir en el chat, ¿cierto? Descriptive linguistics and prescriptive. So descriptive linguistics is in charge of all the changes in the language, all of them, like the everyday language, slang, the different, cultural differences between, for example, Afro-American people or Afro-descendants. Faina también. Yeah, very good. Faina. Good. Or and all the different, for example, the inclusive language. All right. All of that thing is part of the descriptive linguistics. O sea, esta lingüística se encarga de describir lo que está pasando con el English every day. ¿Ya? Entonces, desde ese punto de vista, like everything is valid. Everything. If you want to change the language, you can do it. Okay. You can talk any way you want, whatever you want, anytime. Like the different jokes, everything that you can find in Urban Dictionary, that's descriptive language. No sé si han visto Urban Dictionary. Yeah, you got a lot of different definitions, about everything. But prescriptive language, in this case, que es como que lo que estamos estudiando ahora, que es prescriptive, the prescriptive part of the language is pretty much the rules, okay? Pretty much the rules of the English language, como lo oficial, lo que dice Cambridge, lo que dice Oxford, lo que dice los dictionaries, for example, Longman, Merriam-Webster, todos los como dictionaries, and the universities, in this case, they are part of the prescriptive, point of view on linguistics, yeah. Entonces, linguistics ahí, prescriptive te dice, esto no se puede decir porque está malo, okay? But it's just another point of view, right? Entonces, tenemos estas dos caras, ¿cierto? Descriptive language and prescriptive language. Y son there are two phenomena that occurs every day. Esto ocurre todos los días, okay? Así que cuando vean songs and movies and series with a lot of slang, that's okay. That's okay. That's a real language. Okie dokie. So any questions about passive voice? If not, we're going to practice.
Profe, yo tengo una pregunta.
Dígame.
¿Podría repetir qué era lo del descriptive language?
No problem.
Sí.
En la lingüística, ¿cierto? Que es como la ciencia que estudia las lenguas, todas las lenguas del mundo y los dialectos y todo. Hay dos enfoques, el enfoque descriptivo y el enfoque prescriptivo. El enfoque científico descriptivo, perdón, se dedica a describir los idiomas, el lenguaje. ¿Ya? Entonces, como que no pone reglas. Te dice, este fenómeno sucede, es así, funciona de tal forma y punto. No dice si está bien o mal, porque no emite juicios de valor, sino que simplemente describe los fenómenos que suceden en la calle. Es así de simple, ¿ya? Entonces, todo es válido, ¿cierto? Like bad language, swear words, slang, el idioma de la cárcel, de Afro-American, de cualquiera, es okay, es correct. Entonces, descriptive linguistics lo que hace, describe el lenguaje en su hábitat natural, tal como es. Y no te dice, esto está malo, nunca te lo va a decir. Pero prescriptive de linguistics, perdón, la lingüística prescriptiva, tiene que ver con el estudio de las normas y de las reglas gramaticales, sintácticas de todas las lenguas, ¿ok? Y te va a decir, esto no se dice así, se dice de esta otra forma. Y si tú lo escribes así, está malo. For example, I've seen a lot of different songs, like using is you, o you is. Y uno dice, pero you is está malo, po. Descriptive linguistics te dice, that's okay, no problem, because you're using it in context, and that group of people, group of speakers, they use it every day. So in this case, it's correct. Pero la prescriptive, digamos, linguistic te va a decir no. Si nosotros acordamos que la regla era you are, no you is. Entonces ahí chocan. Y siempre pasa.
Ya, súper claro, profe. Muchas gracias.
No problem. All right. So in this case, entonces cuando uno entiende esto, como que uno se saca un poquito digamos, la lógica de que esto está bien y esto está mal. ¿Te fijas? Sí, como les digo, o sea, nosotros podemos enseñar las reglas de esto es lo que dice Cambridge, esto es lo que dice this Royal Society of whatever, ¿cierto? London. But if you go to, I don't know, a ghetto, if you go a ghetto in the United States, or if you go to a ghetto in South Africa, hablan como quieren. They don't care about the rules. Okay. Y eso es descriptive language, absolutely. And descriptive linguistics también. ¿Cierto? Linguistics se encarga de estudiar eso. Okay. Urban Dictionary, Silvierto. Yes. Urban dictionaries for like the Yankees, exactly. Sometimes I've seen Australian slang sometimes, but not all the time. So it depends on the who is writing the entries. Como si un tipo, un gallo australiano o sudafricano está como metiendo como definiciones. Perfect. Pero se meten más los gringos, Tomás. Okay. But yeah, interesting. Hay hay un grupo que se llama, una banda que se llama, ¿cómo se dice? Hay un tipo que se llama Ninja y otra que se llama Yolandi, que tiene una película que se llama
Die Answer.
Yeah, the N-word. And they, well, I love them, and they use a lot of South African slang, and also the pronunciation is crazy. Something that I've never heard before, and it's the language that the poor classes use in South Africa. In the ghettos and in the different camps that they have in South Africa. And it's very interesting. Very interesting. So if you want to listen to the Ambu, go for it. Plus the music is so kind of interesting. All right. What time is it? Yeah, we still have 30 minutes. And so we're going to practice with the passive voice now. Okay. We're going to practice with the passive voice. Hold on a second. Tenemos aquí vocabulary. ¿Dónde están los exercises aquí? Give me a second. Ahí están en otro lado. Hold on. I'm gonna do passive voice. Y después te lo voy a subir al UCampus. Elementary and intermediate level. Yes, this one. Okie dokie. Here we go. Passive, present forms, active to passive. Yep. Okay, this one. So we got exercise number 1. Exercise number 1 says an old woman feeds the pigeons, and then we got a pigeon here, right? So my question is, what is the right answer? The pigeons are fed, or the pigeons were fed by an old woman? What do you think, guys? You can use the microphone, or you can type your option in the chat room. Catalina dice are fed. Tamara are fed.
Sí, profe, es are fed porque están presentes.
Okay, very good, Tomas. Are fed. Everybody agrees on are fed. That's correct. Okay, are fed. Why? Because Tomas said it. Feeds is conjugated in the simple present. Okay, so when you use the passive voice, you need to use the verb to be in simple present. Pigeons are fed. Okay, good job, guys. Good job. Number 2, a burglar broke the window. Remember that a burglar is the guy that breaks out into a house. Es el ladrón de casa, se llama. It's a burglar. So a burglar broke the window. The window is or was broken by a burglar. Catalina was broken, Benjamin was, Danai was, Constanza was broken. Pia was. Tamara was. Okay. 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 Everybody agrees on that. Was broken. Was broken. Yeah. Hold on. I think it's correct because the broke is the simple past form of break. All right. So in this case, simple past verb to be was. Okay. Good job, guys. Number 3. Someone has made a mistake. So a mistake was made or has been made. Alejandra has been made. Tomás was made. Catalina has been made. Fernanda has been made. Pia has been made. Okay. Yvonne has been made. Yeah, is everybody going to agree on this? Tanai has been made. All right. What do you think, Thomas? Do you keep your option or you change it?
Yes, I keep it.
You keep it. Okay, no problem.
Yes.
No problem. Well, the answer is has been made. I'm sorry. Yeah, so a mistake has been made in this case, right? Because we're using the present perfect in this case. And so we need to use the present perfect with verb to be in this case, has been. Okay. The number 4, everyone is going to love her. So she was going to be loved. She's going to be loved by everyone. Tamara is going. Pia is going to. Fernanda is going to. Catalina is going to. Pia, Vicente, Silken, Alejandra. Okay, everybody pretty much agrees on is going to be. All right, I agree with that. Yeah, she's going to be loved by everyone. Okay, good. Cervantes wrote Don Quixote. Don Quixote has been written, or Don Quixote was written by Cervantes. Was. The night Tamara, yeah. Was written, was. All right, so everybody pretty much agrees that it was written, okay? I agree to. Don Quixote was written by Cervantes because wrote is conjugated with simple past in this case. Tamara, dígame.
Ya, no es que tengo una pregunta, porque por ejemplo aquí está el presente de que ya se escribió, como que ya está hecho.
Sí, sí.
Y si uno traduce las opciones que estaban ahí, es como fue escrito y ha sido escrito.
Correcto.
¿O no? Entonces, ¿cuál es la diferencia entre esas dos? Porque al fin y al cabo igual me dice que ya terminó de escribirlo, ¿o no?
Yes, that's right. La diferencia entre has been written and was written podría ser que en eso no se nota, porque la diferencia que hay entre el present perfect y el past simple es que past simple es un poco más específico para indicar cuándo fue escrito. ¿Ya? En cambio, el present perfect, que sería el has been, normalmente te habla de un pasado que ya terminó, ¿cierto? La acción, pero no te dice cuándo. El problema es que aquí necesitamos más contexto. Por ejemplo, debería decir que Don Quijote was written by Cervantes in the 15th century. ¿Te fijas? Y ahí sería más específico. ¿Ya? Pero si yo digo Don Quijote has been written by Cervantes in the 15th century, no corresponde. ¿Ya? No corresponde porque uno no necesita poner the 15th century cuando estoy usando el present perfect. Simplemente uno dice Don Quijote has been written by Cervantes. Incluso has been written, ha sido escrito, me suena como que fuera más cercano al presente que si yo dijera Don Quijote was written. ¿Cierto? Tiene como esa sensación, ¿te fijas? Ok. Respondí a tu pregunta, ¿cierto? Okie dokie. Thank you. So, was written. Number 6. She is helping my sister. Is helped or is being helped by her? Is being helped, is being. Okay. Okay, pretty much a lot of people, yeah, agrees on this. My sister is being helped. Why? Because in this case, we're using the present continuous. She's helping my sister. So present continuous or progressive, que es lo mismo, ¿cierto? In this case, tenemos que usar lo mismo en la passive voice, ¿cierto? Is being, in this case. Good job. The next, number 7, Pamela will drive the bus. Yeah, it's a future simple. The bus will be driven, and the bus will be driven by Pamela. Will be. Everybody is saying will be. Yeah, will be driven. I agree on that. The bus will be driven by Pamela. Yep, that's right. And the final one is I was watering the plants. I was watering the plants. So the plants were being watered by me, or the plants are being watered by me. What do you think? Where? Where being, where? All right. Okay, that's correct. The plants were being watered, or should they can say watered by me, no problem. Okay, the plants were being watered by me. Good job, guys. Let's check. Correct, well done. More exercises. Your score is 100%. Pasan a retirar su diploma mañana, por favor, a la 11. La estampilla las pagan ustedes. All right, very good. Good job, guys. Excellent. So if there are no more questions about the passive voice, we can continue with more contents. We can deal now with vocabulary. All right. And so I'm going to just copy and paste this link so that you can continue practicing. All right, so now vocabulary. This is vocabulary in use. Okay, so I think in a previous lesson, de repente mi memoria me falla. No me acuerdo si lo vi con ustedes o no. Estuvimos viendo politics. No me acuerdo si fue con ustedes. ¿Vimos politics ya o no? Or we haven't. Quizás fue con el otro grupo que vimos politics. Okay, this is pretty much like a topic in the book. Hold on. Creo que era el tema 80. Chapter 80. Está lenta la cosa. Kind of slow. Give me a second. See, politics, 82 politics. Chapter 82. Como que no, ahí está. $72, yeah. It's weird. ¿Por qué no aparece? Hay que abrirlo nomás con el lumen. ahora sí. My Wi-Fi is hating me right now. Come on. Wait. Okay, topic 80. 82. All right, politics. Politics, yeah. So first, we're gonna, in this case, we're gonna watch a video about the political spectrum, and then we're gonna discuss the contents right here, okay? So we're gonna talk about politics as a, in this case, as a social phenomenon, right? Of course, we can talk about, in this case, political parties, yeah, but we're gonna talk about politics as a general term in this case. Let me look up the video. Look up the video. Aquí está, political spectrum. All right, here we go.
Sí.
Yeah.
Sí,
Thank you.
In the modern political world, the terms left-wing and right-wing can often be heard and misunderstood. But what do these terms mean, and where do they come from? The terms left and right were first used in an ideological context during the French.
I'm going to put the subtitles, but in this case, English, not Checo. All right.
Revolution of the 18th century. Those on the left were in support of the revolution, and those on the right supported the monarchy. This idea of the left supporting change and the right wanting to keep the status quo continues today and is key in some of their philosophy. The difference between left and right-wing ideology fundamentally comes down to the balance between individual liberty and government power. The left strive for an equal society and believe that the state should play a substantial role in people's lives. This means increased regulation on business and higher taxes on the rich. The left also tend to hold more progressive views, often opposing the death penalty while supporting same-sex marriage and women's right to abortion. The left have more lenient views on immigration and are usually the driving force behind any separation of church and state. Economically, the left often follow the Keynesian, or as it's sometimes called, the interventionist school of thought. In brief, this system would have the government intervene to avoid an economic recession. This means taxing highly during good or boom times and spending this money when the economy truly needs it. The level of government interference varies by how far left it is, with communists wanting complete control over all aspects of the economy, whereas the centre-left want only moderate intervention. The right believe that a level of social inequality is inevitable, and think that the government should have a limited role in people's lives and business. This is, as the right believes, that preserving personal freedom should be the government's main goal and should not impose too many rules on people's lives. The right also tend to hold more traditional and religious attitudes than the left, often opposing things those on the left support, such as same-sex marriage and women's right to abortion. Economically, the right can often be seen using the new classical approach, which includes having a laissez-faire policy. This roughly translates to leave things alone and means less regulation to increase innovation and lower taxes to increase growth. In short, the right views government interference in business as a bad thing and thinks that the market prospers best when left to its own devices. Parties on the left include Labour, the Greens and the Democratic Party, while those on the right include the Republicans, Conservatives and the UK Independence Party. There is also a centre ground where parties like the Liberal Democrats lie. These parties hold views from both the left and the right. This all being said, the use of left and right to describe modern political parties is not always accurate. There are actually many different political spectrums that can be used to judge how far left or right a party is. Parties often judge themselves based on other current political parties. In this regard, Labour is often seen to be on the left and Conservatives are often seen to be on the right. In actual fact, lots of Labour policy actually places it in the centre or right of the political spectrum. The same is true in America, where both the Democrats and Republicans are on the right of the spectrum in political terms, even if the Democrats are sometimes seen as having more left-wing values. The political spectrum is also not just two-dimensional. Within both the left and the right, there are people who hold authoritarian and libertarian views. Authoritarians wish for greater government interference and libertarians want the opposite. As previously stated, the left tend to be authoritarian and the right tend to be libertarian, but this is not always the case. We are often taught the extremes of left-wing is communism and the extremes of right-wing is fascism. This is not strictly true, as the extreme authoritarian nature of fascist governments combined with left-wing economic beliefs make it hard to place on a political scale. While it is useful to have these labels in order to help the majority of people easily distinguish between different ideologies, it is also important to remember that they are not always accurate, and looking at the party's policy for yourself is often the best way to choose who gets your vote, rather than following a label blindly.
All right, very good. So what do you guys think about the video? Did you like it? Is it accurate to describe the political spectrum, or maybe you find any mistakes, any things that you don't agree?
I think this is right
Okay, very well. So
because Huh?
yeah, go ahead.
because it not only says that political is right and left, it says that there's more than that. It's not black and white and stuff. I think it's right.
Exactly. I agree with you, Thomas. In what sense? That today is like a little more difficult to define. For example, in this case, like a political movement. If we compare these examples with the Chilean, in this case, politics, we can see, for example, I'm gonna give you just an example. The Frente Amplio. The Frente Amplio started to appear some years ago as a new alternative for the Concertación and also the Chile Vamos, the right wing and the left wing. So then we got Frente Amplio saying, we are a new alternative, and we are clean and free of the vices, como los vicios of the old Concertación and also the right. But we can see that in time, the Frente Amplio is also now mixing and combining with, for example, the Communist Party, or, for example, going more to the right, like with PPD or Democracia Cristiana, So you got that now Frente Amplio is kind of fractured, It's not like a united front right now. But the original idea maybe was good, but now we see that in the practice, they have been, they are kind of, fractured and broken inside, and it's because the Chilean political spectrum is very polarized. So we got a really, really strong right wing, like very conservative and very, in this case, rich with a lot of power, like the factic and economical power. And on the left, we got, for example, the I think that the lefter thing we can see is maybe the communists, but also we got like more extreme sides, like a FPMR, like Frente Patriótico, but it's really small, or MIR, but they are like pretty much like only social movements right now, and not really a political party, right? But my point is that we can make comparisons between the Chilean political system with the British political system and the American political system. Now, some experts around the world, they say that the Chilean democracy is kind of strong because we got a lot of different parties. We got for example, the Ecological Party, the Humanist Party, the Communist Party. We got like UDI, Republican parties and stuff like that. So we got a lot of parties, and not only two. In the United States, they got only like the most powerful are the Democrat Party or Democratic Party, and also the Republican Party. And in England, they got the Labour and also the Conservative Party. And you got smaller parties, but they never have had like a prime minister and stuff like that. Okay, and but some other experts say that the Chilean democracy is weak because they see a concentration of the power in the figure of the president. That the executive power, is influencing the other two powers, like the Congress or the Supreme Court, always influencing, always giving instructions, So that's why the democracy is weakened when one only person starts to, in this case, like direct and manage the economy, the political spectrum, all the measures, and all the situations occurring in a country. Okay, so we got different opinions on that. Okay, so I would like to hear, in this case, your opinion. Yeah, we got like 5 minutes left. You can use the microphone or the chat room. And what do you think is pretty much now like the situation in the political parties or the political spectrum in Chile? Maybe in comparison to Great Britain, to United States. Do you think that we can trust in the political parties, like como los partidos políticos? Can we trust them? We're gonna have a new constitution, so it's kind of a new thing. Samuel, please go ahead.
I think that we are very polarized right now. Like, or you are either from the left or the right, and if you're from one side, then another person who's on the rival party, and they're your enemy. Like, there's no trying to see work together and stuff. Like, it's either you're my friend or my enemy, and right now I don't think we can trust any of them, really, because I think that they both have failed a bit, really. Like, the right, what they did with the dictatorship and all that, and the left never really tried to do much change. And also, I've heard a lot of people saying that the real left movement in Chile died with Gladys Marin, so I don't know.
Okay, thank you very much, Samuel. Thank you. Tamara, please.
Se lo voy a decir en español nomás ya.
Okay.
Siento que los políticos de hoy en día se cambian mucho la chaqueta, por decirlo así, en sí los propios ideales que plantea su partido. Entonces, como que dicen lo que queremos escuchar al fin y al cabo, no respetan lo que proponen, porque siento yo que está bien que en Chile hayan distintos partidos, que hayan distintos ideales, y siento yo que cada persona debería como respetar su ideal y hacer lo que piensa, pero estos tipos no lo hacen. Esa es mi opinión.
Okay, thank you, Tamara. Thank you. Benjamin, please.
I agree what Tamara says. Today we got a lot of populism in the Chilean politics, but I feel we got a lot of parties in the politics, but a lot of parties with little idiots. So many little idiots. The people who is from the left wing, from the right wing, in the center, got I feel like problems with the ego. I'm better than you because I think in that way, and you're worse than me because all of you think is bad. So first of all, I don't believe in that, and the second, we need trust in politicians. You know, we need we need trust in them because they are read our new constitution and all of that, but they are lost us they are lost of respect with the bad business, with bad decisions, and with a lot of lies. You know, for that I won't say that it's a lot of populism. If you want a beer, I can take you a beer with these taxes. If you want to smoke, I can let you smoke with these taxes. And if you're a worker, well, you are, I can say this because we're in a class, but you are like F up, you know? You need money, you got taxes. You need food, you got taxes. And if you want a baby, you can take a baby right now, you know, for pandemic. So I feel that bad decisions, bad persons, bad ideas, with a lot of the trust in the politicians. Don't matter right now for me, don't matter the left wing or right wing. We need to do the things good, and there are maybe polarize the areas, you know. But right now, the Chilean politics or politicians, sorry, are not working, not for the people, but that's working for their business, you know. So that's my opinion.
Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you very much. Okay, really interesting, really interesting. Any other opinion? Anything else to say? Okay, so yeah, I think that maybe what we need is like leaders in this case, or representatives, which can work for the people. That's the first thing. You know, they need to focus on the people and not to focus on fighting each other. You know, that like they fight each other all the time, but if they focus on the people and the people's needs, I think that would really change, you know, the way we see them, we consider them, right? Another thing is that, for example, what you said, you know, they normally they like pretty much like change their ideas, like they pretty much like the jacket, they put them upside down all the time, you know, como que se dan vuelta la chaqueta, you know, they all the time. So if you put them like into this spectrum, for example, either in the authoritarian or maybe libertarian, or you put them in the right, or you put them in the left, maybe you can say, okay, this guy is right here, maybe, but then the next day this guy is on the other side, or maybe more authoritarian, or maybe more libertarian. So they are changing all the time. They're kind of moving so that they can, you know, gain the people's vote, and that's really populist. You know, when you tell the people what they want to hear, that's populism, and it's because you're not following your own, in this case, set of ideas or beliefs or values. You're just saying what they want to hear, okay? But you're not like a real leader or a real person, because you it's really difficult to find someone like that today, okay? Somebody who's like who believes and acts because of his ideas, you know, like coherent. That's the idea. Okay, 11:15 o'clock. Any final regards, any final comments before we finish? Okay, good job, guys, good job. Maybe next class we can continue with the conversation, with the discussion. We still got to work on the book. Okay, in the book you can see like more vocabulary exercises in chapter 82. So in the next class we're going to continue talking about this thing. Okay, thank you for coming today to the class, and have a great day. Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
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 Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye.